Christmas tree? Check. Nutcracker collection? Check, check. Holiday baking? Yeah, I still have to do that. Good morning, guys. I hope you are enjoying this holiday with your family and friends. I thought I'd take a little bit of time and show you guys behind the scenes of how I do Christmas and how my family does Christmas. My tree has actually been up since September, maybe the 1st of October, but there's a reason for that. So I had this big, wide, tall, beautiful tree for years that my husband had bought me. And over the years, there was a couple branches on the bottom that I kept having to wire just to get it to stay together. So I told myself last year, you are getting a new tree next year. So I went on the company where he bought my last tree from and started looking at trees similar to the ones that I had in the past, and those things were expensive. I'm talking like $1,200. I said, no way am I paying $1,000, $1,200 for a damn Christmas tree. So I started looking at some economy models, and I went with this one because I loved the branches on it. They look like real pine. And it was a cheaper, lower end tree, and it is pre-lit. This is the first pre-lit tree I've had. So with that being said, the reason I set it up as soon as I got it was because I wanted to make sure everything was working properly, all the lights were working properly on it, and that nothing was broken because of what I paid for it, even though it was the lower end. So that's the story of why my tree's been up for a couple months. Now, with that being said, when I took it out of the box and set it up, it is so much smaller than my other tree. My husband looked at me and said, oh, so we're having a Charlie Brown Christmas this year. And I was just like, just kill me now. So he actually built a box for the bottom of it that lifts it up off of the floor and gets it taller and actually makes it look more regal. So I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna show you the box that he built in just a sec. But I wanted to say something real quick about my ornaments. My ornaments are a mix of store-bought stuff and a lot of handmade stuff by myself and members of my family. So I cherish my ornaments that are on my tree. Now let me show you that box. We also used to put our stockings up under the tree, but this year my hubby wood burnt this board for me and put some hooks on it for us to hang our stockings, and it sets in, I have these glass panels on both sides of my door, so it sets into where the glass panels sit, and we actually got to hang our stockings for once. So here's the story behind my massive Nutcracker collection. I started a few years ago with just a couple of Nutcrackers. I just love them. I love the way that they look. And then it kind of became a tradition of each November we drive to different antique stores, and I actually find used older antique Nutcrackers that I rescue. So we go on a Nutcracker rescue mission each year. So this year when we were in Ocala in an antique store and we were walking through, I came across something that caught my eye that wasn't my traditional wooden Nutcracker, but something a little bit different. Check out this guy. He is a golden Nutcracker, and this is what I love about him. This is what caught my eye. He's got gears on the front of him, and I liked his wings as well, but if you look really closely right here, it says Smirnoff. Can you guys see that? So then that got me curious, so I took a look at the bottom of it, and it's a glass bottle. So upon closer inspection, what I discovered was somebody actually hot glued some gears to this and did some kind of putty and put wings on it and added the seashell and the key, and then they spray painted it gold. So this is somebody's art project, but I thought it was beautiful, so now it's mine. Last but not least, I want to show you my two 8-foot Nutcrackers that my husband and I built by hand. All right, last but not least, these are the two 8-foot nutcrackers that my husband and I built years ago. This is red and this is blue, obviously named for their colors. Funny story behind that, I used to actually do a blog online, like a written blog, and I came across this other guy's blog where he and his two sons had built two 9-foot nutcrackers, and he kind of had instructions on like how they did it. So I told my husband, I said, next year, I put a note on the calendar, we're gonna build two nutcrackers using these instructions, and I printed everything out. It was like even a shopping list for Home Depot or Lowe's. And so sure enough, the next year we went, we got all of the supplies that we thought we needed to make these guys with, and we started a project that took us probably 2 months, but it was well worth it. But I want to tell you a little bit about what these guys are made out of and how we did them, and I'll pop up some pictures as I'm going along. But their inside of their bodies are actually made of threaded rods and different size wood discs that make up the different layers of them, and you'll see that when I pop up the pictures. Their heads are made of stack after stack of styrofoam that were cut in squares at first, and my husband put them on a threaded rod and actually put them on a lathe and took a grinder and ground them all down to get the rounded shape, and then we cut out and added more styrofoam for their noses. Their hat and their bodies, like this part, is made out of plastic sheeting, basically the same kind of stuff that you would use on your bathroom walls. And their arms and legs are made out of 2 different sizes of PVC pipe. And then their hands, see if I can get their hand up for you so you can see. This is actually a styrofoam buoy, like a crab buoy, that my mom brought me from my hometown of Horseshoe Beach. So that's what their hands are made out of. And then for their swords, can you see the sword? These are actually wooden, and my husband took a couple pieces of wood and sanded them down to make their swords. So like I said, it took us a couple months to do this project. I did all of the painting of their faces and on their bodies and so forth. And it was a labor of love. So every year when we bring these guys out, they weigh a ton. They're actually 2 different sections. Their body is one section and their head is another section. And we have to carry all of this stuff up to the front porch every year, and they're super heavy. So these are what I call my boys, and I love them so much. They're really awesome. So happy holidays, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you have some awesome traditions as well. Share down in the comments if you have collections or special things that you do with your family each year. I'd love to hear about them. Love you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.